What is leadership alignment? And why is it so critical? In fact, maybe the most critical thing in achieving your organizational success. Leadership alignment is more than just making sure that all of your leaders are on the same page. It's about aligning all aspects of your organization to make sure that you are driving results. That means starting with purpose, understanding the why of your organization, creating key strategic goals that will get you that purpose, and then facilitating a culture that will activate your strategic plan to drive results. And everyone being on the same page while you do that. A lack of leadership alignment can have devastating results on an organization. Not only is it confusing for employees at large, but it also means that you're moving in different directions. And if you're not all in the same boat, rowing in the same direction, you're not going to get where you're headed. By the end of this video, you're not only going to know what leadership alignment is and what it looks like, but how you can get your leaders aligned. In a survey by Leadership IQ, apparently only 29% of employees feel like their leader's vision is aligned with the rest of the organization. And this is a complex problem because we're not just talking about one person's vision, we're talking about everyone's vision being shared. That is what true alignment looks like. When leadership falls out of alignment, then chaos ensues, and the entire organization struggles to effectively produce the results that are needed to get where we're going. So not only does the leader need to know the purpose, but the entire organization needs to know the purpose. And so that means it has to be memorable. So many organization purpose statements, or they're often frequently referred to as mission statements, are very long sentences or even sometimes paragraphs about why the organization exists. But when you have a long purpose statement, you don't have something that's memorable, and most people fall out of alignment. So the first step to leadership alignment is having a very crisp, clean, simple, and short purpose statement. In fact, we suggest that your purpose statement be no longer than 6 words. Your free words are, "Our purpose is to." But after 2, you've only got 6 words to state the core of why your organization exists. Our purpose is to unleash the power of your culture. And if that purpose resonates with you, then subscribe to this channel to join a network of people who are all passionate about workplace culture and unleashing the power of their culture to inspire not only businesses but people to reach their full potential. So step 1 is purpose. And you would hope as a leader that you could call any single one of your employees and ask them what the purpose is, and they would give you the same 6 words. If that's not happening, then you need to start with communication. And consider yourself as a leader the chief reminding officer. The chief reminding officer is constantly repeating the purpose and the key results and the culture that we're trying to create so that everyone gets in alignment. You can't just say it once, you can't just send an email, you can't just announce it at a town hall or create a PowerPoint and distribute it. You have to constantly repeating. Say it 7 times in 7 ways in order for it to become memorable within an organization. You can never state your purpose too often. Once you're clear on the purpose and you know that everyone in the organization is connected to that purpose and they understand it and can remember it, then it's time to figure out your particular strategy. Your purpose is your why, and your strategy is your how. How are you going to achieve that purpose? How will you measure it? How will you know if you've been successful? How will you define winning? And so your strategy has multiple components, and you can go to our video on how to create a strategic plan to get more information about that. But the key here is you have to have simple key results. These are, once again, meaningful, measurable, and memorable. If everyone understands these simple key results that are driving your business forward, that will help you achieve your purpose, then you've got the starting point for a great strategy. Then you need to make some strategic bets. These are your strategic anchors that will anchor your business decision making. And finally, you have to have that big goal, the big goal that you are trying to achieve over the long term. Those are the core components of a strategic plan. Once you have your purpose, which is your why, and your strategy, which is your how, you have to activate that through culture. That is the way to get results. And when all three of those things are in alignment, you've got leadership alignment. And better yet, you have organizational alignment. So how do you activate culture? Well, culture is rooted in the concept that experiences shape our beliefs, and those beliefs lead to actions which get us results. And so at the core of your culture activation plan has to be those key cultural beliefs that will drive your strategic plan in order to accomplish your purpose. And so there needs to be leadership alignment around what those cultural beliefs are. Those cultural beliefs are answering the question, how are we going to get those things done in our strategy? And when you have those, you can consciously think at all levels of the organization about which experiences would reinforce those cultural beliefs. So leaders at every level of the organization can be co-creating experiences that reinforce those beliefs. Now, the key here is to tie those experiences not just to cultural beliefs, but to the results you're trying to achieve in that strategy. One form of experience is recognition. When you're giving your employees recognition, all of your leaders should be trained in tying what you're recognizing them for doing to not only the cultural belief, but the key result. Recognition is one form, but another form of experience is storytelling. When you're telling stories about what worked in an organization, tie those stories to the cultural beliefs that were reinforced and the key results that they helped achieve. And you can also do this in feedback. When you're giving constructive or appreciative feedback, you can tie that feedback to the cultural beliefs and the key results. Continuing to tie all of those things together is the key to alignment. And leadership alignment is all of the leaders doing these things in unison in the same way. So if you're interested in learning more about how to create leadership alignment in your organization, then I have a free gift for you. You can either click on the link below in the description, or you can go to gift.culture.io to get not only our research about leadership alignment, but some how-tos and key steps in your guide to create leadership alignment for your team.